Welcome to the Bay. Today we've got an absolute monster of a showdown for you. NVIDIA's legendary RTX 3090, the Ampere Titan, versus the brand new King of the Hill, the RTX 5090, powered by the Blackwell architecture. Yep, this is a true clash of generations, and in this explainer, we are going to break down everything, and I mean everything, you need to know.
So here's the big question on everyone's mind. With the 5090 crashing onto the scene, does the once mighty 3090 even stand a chance anymore? Or has this new king completely rewritten the rules for high-end PC building? Well, that's what we're here to find out. We're going to give you all the data you need to decide which of these absolute powerhouses belongs in your rig. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, the main event. This is what most of us are here for, right? Raw gaming performance. We're going to cut right through all the marketing hype and look at the one thing that really matters when you're in the game. Pure, beautiful frames per second. Let's kick things off with a game that just punishes GPUs. Cyberpunk 2077 at 4K. The RTX 3090, to be fair, puts up a super respectable 95 frames per second. Awesome. But then, look at the 5090. It just blows it completely out of the water with 170 FPS. That is nearly double the performance. We're not talking about a small improvement here. This is a completely different universe of smooth gameplay. Okay, now for a competitive title like Warzone, where every single frame can be the difference between winning and losing, the 3090 is still an absolute beast, hitting 190 FPS at 4K. Amazing. But the RTX 5090 just shatters all expectations, pushing an unbelievable 300 FPS. This is a level of high refresh rate 4K gaming that, honestly, we just couldn't even dream of before. So when you pull all the data together from a whole bunch of modern games, what you're looking at is a staggering 70 to 100% performance jump at 4K with the RTX 5090. This is, without a doubt, one of the biggest generational leaps we have ever seen. And let's be clear, this isn't just about making a number go up. This is the kind of raw power that makes things like fully path-traced photorealistic gaming a real practical thing you can do right now.
But, pure horsepower isn't the whole story. The insane numbers we just saw, they're the result of something much, much deeper. We're talking about a massive gap in the underlying tech, the architecture that truly separates these two cards.
And this lays out that tech gap perfectly. The 5090's Blackwell architecture is rocking 4th-gen ray tracing cores for mind-blowing realistic lighting and 5th-gen tensor cores for way faster AI. That's 2 full generations ahead of the 3090. But the real knockout punch? It's DLSS 4. That's a technology the older Ampere architecture just physically cannot run.
Now, if you're not familiar, DLSS 4 is not just some simple image upscaler. Its multi-frame generation feature is some kind of black magic. It uses AI to literally create brand new frames out of thin air and slot them in between the rendered ones. It basically multiplies your frame rate. This is the secret sauce behind those massive FPS gains, and it's the one feature that will keep the 5090 relevant for years to come.
Okay, we've seen the jaw-dropping performance, we've seen the tech, but now it's time for the real-world gut check. The questions every single PC builder has to ask. Will this monster even fit in my case? And maybe more importantly, is my power supply about to cry for mercy?
And this table tells you everything you need to know. The 5090 jumps up to 32 gigs of that crazy fast GDDR7 memory. Amazing for creators and next-gen games. But, and this is a big but, look at that power draw, 575 watts. That's over 200 watts more than the 3090, which means the recommended power supply jumps all the way up to a beefy 1,000-watt unit. Yeah, the new card is a little shorter, but that power requirement is a huge deal for any build.
And let me be absolutely 100% clear on this point. That 1,000-watt recommendation, that's not a friendly suggestion. It's a requirement. Trying to run the 575-watt Titan on a cheaper, undersized power supply is the fastest way to start bottlenecking your performance, or even worse, causing random crashes. Seriously, do not cheap out on the PSU for a card like this. All right, let's bring it all into the harbor. We've looked at performance, the tech, the physical demands. Now it's time for the final verdict. Which one of these GPUs is the right one to dock in your build in 2025? We can break this down pretty simply. If you are a 4K gaming enthusiast, someone who wants to crank every setting to max with ray tracing and get buttery smooth frame rates, the RTX 5090 is your card, no question. Same thing if you're an AI developer or a 3D artist who needs all 32 gigs of VRAM. But If you're a creator who just needs that big 24 gig memory buffer and you're shopping on the used market, the RTX 3090 can still be a really smart buy.
And this quote from our friends over at bestgpusforgaming.com just hits the nail on the head. The 3090's new role is being a value king on the secondhand market. But if you are building a brand new, top-of-the-line rig today, the sheer performance and the future-proof tech of the 5090 make it the undeniable long-term investment.
Now, all the data you've seen today, that's straight from our data harbor, pulled together from our expert partners. If you want to go way deeper, see more benchmarks, and get more analysis, I highly recommend you go check out the full reports over at bestgpusforgaming.com.
So there you have it. The RTX 5090 is the absolute bleeding edge of what's possible in gaming. The future is officially here, but it definitely comes with a serious price tag and some hefty power needs. The only question left is your rig and your wallet ready for that price of admission? Thanks for stopping by the Bay. Keep it cool and keep building.